Okay guys, welcome to Filmmaker Berserk. We're going to do a list of the best horror films of 2024. Watch the movie The Substance, and I really want to hit on a few key points as to why we might vote this horror movie of the year. Demi Moore's character of Elizabeth Sparkle, you know, the famous fitness guru Elizabeth Sparkle, who's gone Hollywood. And she's aging. Probably most relatable horror film that I've ever seen. This creepy guy, greaseball, telling you that, hey, you're aging out of Hollywood, so it's time to quit. Because when I watched that, like, as Demi Moore being an aging actress who was fighting to, and she didn't even need to do anything with herself. Like, she's perfectly beautiful as she is, and I doubt she lost any of her fan base. If not, she's probably picking up more of a fan base, being the age that she was. And let's replace you with a younger version. Did he just freaking say that? Well, and absolutely cringed at the idea of how much pressure we place on ourselves to try to be perfect when there is absolutely no such thing, because obviously beauty is subjective, so it doesn't even matter anyway. But to ourselves, within ourselves, to feel great within our own skin, I guess you could say. Okay, so I'm gonna rate this movie as one of my top horror films of the year, because I absolutely love the movie. There's a few of the things that I thought that were so relatable. Number one, the beauty standards placed on women, especially if you live a life in front of a camera, which everybody pretty much now does. But if you're an actress and a person, you know, in the public eye, oh my God, you can so relate to this movie because and as a woman, you feel like your whole worth is placed on how you look. We pick on ourselves for every little thing. I don't care what anybody says. I know you all can agree with me. It's upsetting to think about, or even somebody who is on social media. You know the pressure that's placed on you to look and be beautiful. People talk about it. Oh no, there's no pressure for women to be beautiful. Just be who you are. Be how you are. But then you see reels of celebrities that people share, and then you can scroll through the comments and all people do is talk mad shit about how old they look, about how ugly they look, or they should age gracefully, or this or that. But then if they age gracefully, they're considered wrinkled and gross. If they don't age gracefully and they get any fillers or, you know, Botox and facelifts and whatever else they get done, then they're considered like, oh my God, she's so plastic. So which is it, people? It's an absolute shame for us to age in any way. It's about beauty standards and what women are willing to do. I thought of like the Ozempic craze, and because she's given her that the shot all the time, and is to try to be more thin and beautiful, and at first it's advertised as this most amazing thing, as everything always is, and then of course, you know, the side effects start to come about. And obviously I think the moral of the story is just kind of do what makes you feel good, but do it in moderation so that you don't turn into some beast, you know, sliding across the Hollywood Boulevard. And it talks about addiction. I think that this movie was absolutely brilliant, because the majority of Americans can relate to this in some form or another, because I think that probably 98, 99% of people deal with some sort of addiction. It took a lot of balls for her to play that role. I mean, a lot of balls for her to play that role, because she had to become this decrepit, even though it's effects makeup, of course it is, but she still had to become this decrepit monster. And then of course with her rage, and we all can relate, where we've had older women who hate us and want to kill us because of, you know, how we look, and they'd be like, you little bitch. And they would do little things like that mom that would pinch you when you're a kid, when you're being bad and they don't want to make a scene, so they pinch you. And that's what the women do to other women. So I've met old ladies before and they pinched me. And so sometimes you get sick of being pinched. And I think that that's what, you know, and then all of a sudden I'll become that pincher one day, maybe, but I don't want to, because I know what it feels like to get pinched. So I'm not going to do that. However, with Demi Moore, with that one particular scene where she's like, you little bitch, and she's like, you're stealing my life, comes this battle between the self, because they're still the same person. It's the younger version of her. And the younger version of her is calling the old version of her, while she's kicking the shit out of her, this fat old thing. Found it to be super entertaining and almost comical at some points, because I couldn't help it. I was cracking up. So but I crack up at every horror film because I find the humor behind the story, obviously, and I work on horror films. So I hope you guys like comment with your thoughts on this movie and what you thought of it. And I'm Krista Saxon from Filmmaker Berserk.